You're welcome back to Tech Talk with me, Kazeem, this good afternoon. So I have Adnan back on the Tech Talk. Welcome back, Adnan.
Thank you for having me, Kazeem. It's good to be here.
Yeah. So today on the show, Adnan is going to be sharing insight into his role as a cloud architect. He's going to be discussing his responsibilities, skills, and what his typical day looks like playing his role as an architect, among other things. So, but before we delve into the discussion today, Adnan, let me have you introduce yourself to my audience first.
Sure, my name is Adnan Hendricks. I'm a consultant, um, cloud architect, trainer, advisor. I wear many hats, and I've been in the industry for close to 3 decades. So it's been a while, a long time, and still to this day, one of the nicest things I like about the IT career is that you're always learning something new and you're always meeting interesting people that are doing great things. And I like to coach people new to IT, just like yourself, because we understand where we were many years ago, Kazeem. So whatever we can do or I can do to pay it forward and to help another one in their career path, that's some of the best things for me to do.
Let's start with your role as a cloud infrastructure architect. What does your role as a cloud infrastructure architect, what does it entail? Want to walk us through that?
Well, for me, I advise my clients, a lot of clients and customers that find their way to my doorstep. It's all about some of the challenges that they have, either moving to the cloud or most of the time they already started with something. So they're running to certain challenges where it could be performance or where things don't work that well. And then I get to help them fix it. So that's
Okay.
typically my role. And we can get into the technical details like the design and architect and also some of the trainings and workshops that I run to get people from point A to B or C
Okay.
if you think about the cloud.
So, how about your typical day now? What does a typical day for you on the job looks like?
A typical day on the job, well, sometimes unfortunately it starts with meetings. So it's either a catch-up meeting or sometimes clients want to move ahead with a specific project. And the nice thing about my job is no day is the same. So it's not like I'm working in an office and every day it's the same thing. So because I work as an independent consultant, I have my own company, I have a number of different clients with different needs, and I have to split my day into meeting a lot of interesting people and helping them with their lives.
What is it about your job that you like best? And are there also some areas where you have some bit of challenges?
Oh, when it comes to people, Kazim, you always have challenges because it's never the technology. So that's also one thing that I love about my job. I'm always meeting all these interesting, clever, really intelligent people, that I also learn from. Uh, and sometimes it's all about trying to not just argue, but explaining your point of view to the client. Because I'll give you an example. I'll be in a meeting with 20, 30 people on one project where something needs to be done for a very important client. And sometimes you're working with other vendors. And a lot of times it is, you might have a difficult person in the room that has a different point of view. And it's all about just getting your arguments across so they can see that you are taking them in the right direction or have the right solution. But something that I find very challenging sometimes, especially when it comes to security projects, is where I always tell people you don't get 100%, but because there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to IT, 0 days, things that we're not aware of. And, working from zero trust perspective, we try and uh, find solutions to challenges that we know we don't know yet. So we deal with it in a different way. And sometimes you'll get a customer or a client that is not happy with your 99.5% solution, and they add about 60% themselves, and they'll say, well, it's not 100%, so we're still going to keep looking, instead of thinking we need to up our 60% to at least 99, and we'd be in a lot better position than we were. So sometimes those sort of meetings with clients can be a bit challenging.
Yeah, okay. Okay. How about what you love? You didn't walk us through that.
Well, I love working with new technology. Being in the cloud, things change rapidly. So being the new guy with the knowledge, and always helping clients understand and also get to understand what they need to do and how to learn, especially the new way of doing things. So that's always been one of the reasons that I love this job, is that you're always working with the latest technology, and with directly with product teams in some cases, and some vendors.
I know you've been in tech for a very long time, Adnan, and I know you have all the accolades, right? You've been in Microsoft MVP for many years, and so since tech career is a career that changes often, so I want to ask, how do you stay up to date with the latest trends and technologies in the cloud?
Well, it's a non-stop ongoing process, which is one of the byproducts of wanting to always work with the latest and greatest technologies. So I do a lot of training, like online training that I follow myself. One of the best places that I gain knowledge from is going to and attending conferences. So a lot of IT conferences where I know some product teams or vendors will be that make the products, and being an MVP yourself, that you get to um, share your experiences, and sometimes that helps shape the products that are made. And a lot of other things is just learning from like-minded peers and individuals.
So let's talk about how you got to where you are now, Adnan, because people might be listening to this and want to be like you someday, right? So for those people who are looking up to you, Adnan, so first, what are those key skills and qualifications necessary to succeed as a cloud infrastructure architect? And two, what advice would you offer to someone pursuing a career in this field?
Well, I meet a lot of people that have that question. Just this past week, I sat with a bunch of lovely guys, about uh, 11 people in a room, in a training workshop, all wanting to be cloud engineers and starting out their careers. And I had the same question. And the nice thing is, you can pretty much go in all directions, specifically for cloud architects, which is also something that was one of my advice. It all has to do with an understanding of how the technology works, that I always give the advice, because it's not just knowing how the technical part works, but it's also how to build a solution. So when it comes to certification, that's a very good direction. So quite often I'm already meeting people that are on their certification journey, and starting maybe with a fundamentals level, and then they're thinking, well, where can I go next? And then I always tell them, well, the administrator level, administrator associate, or systems engineers, quite often that they already are. So learning the different technicals, the resources on their specific cloud, and then design how you'd build a solution or work with performance or security, depending on where people's interests lie. Well, maybe they want to specialize. And something that I do a lot lately is work on security. So actually, security, I see it as a basis for everything that you do. So it's not just about building something that's functional. From the ground up, you need to ensure that it's functional and secure. So that's something that I try to point out to people that are just doing that technical part. And the next steps, you never stop with your certification journey once you start.
Okay.
And I remember I started in the early 90s and still going strong.
Even looking younger. This is how much we've got time for on today's episode of Day in the Life series of the Tech Talk with me, Kazeem. I hope you've enjoyed it and have learned something from Adnan's journey. Adnan, is there any last words before we say bye-bye now?
But the advice I always give people, also to understand your work a lot better, is always to, if you learn something, share something. So if you learn something new yourself, whether it's in your job, in your team, with your friends, the more you can explain that to others, it just helps you understand your work or life better. So whenever you learn something new, share it with others, because sharing is caring.
Thank you very much, Adnan, for your time. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.